We're about to be live shortly.
Okay.
Hello, hello, our viewers. We want to apologize for the late start. I have the pleasure. Please call your friends. This is the beginning of 2021, and we are starting it in style. I have the honor and privilege to host my friend, Lady Gina. She is an incredible resource for you in 2021. So if you do not know Gina Muigai, I recommend that you follow her on her page. And so please invite your friends. And Miss Gina, we are live. If you want to share from my page, you can go ahead and do that while we wait for just a few minutes to see who else joins us. So ladies and gentlemen, let us know where you're watching us from, because this is gonna be hot, smoking. Are you able to share from my page?
Oh, from your Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Yes, we are live.
Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should be able to see us.
Gotcha. I don't know.
Did you see it?
Not yet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell us where you're watching us from. Did you see it?
Not yet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell us where you're watching us from. And I've tagged you on it. All right. We have a few people who have already joined us, so we will get started. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us to this awesome conversation with Miss Gina Muigai. Again, this lady is incredible. So if you have not followed her in the past, get started. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us to this awesome conversation with Miss Gina. So if you have not followed Miss Gina, I recommend that you follow her on her Facebook. She's going to tell us more about where you can follow her. But to start off, we are in 2021. We are all sitting down and writing down those goals and aspirations that we have for 2021. And I know at the top of your line, I think comes, how do I make more money this year? So I am so honored to host you, Miss Gina. It is going to be a great conversation, and I'm so humbled that you agreed to be on this show. So let me tell you all about Miss Gina. She is founder of AfriMentor Consulting Group, and she will tell us what AfriMentor Consulting Group is all about and what made her start it. Gina is currently completing her PhD, so she's going to be Dr. Gina Muigai in a very few short time. I think it's a month or two. We will be celebrating her graduation. We cannot wait to celebrate your new title. And in the last 3 years, she has given of herself and helped hundreds and hundreds of immigrants to secure those lucrative jobs. And they come from different countries. Gina is originally from Kenya, but she's helping immigrants from all over the continent. And so if you are an immigrant and have been looking to see how you can step up into that new role, I have the person here for you. Gina has a show and it's called the Gina Muigai Show. And there she brings to us awesome areas where we can look at, do we want to be new entrepreneurs? Do we need to step up our resumes to secure that job? Do you need those extra pair of beautiful eyes to look at your resume to say, if I change this, this, and this, maybe my resume will be one of the thousands that will be picked out of all those applicants out there. Gina has been recognized by the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development. Imagine a whole state has recognized her. So this lady is doing something that we all need to be here listening to. Gina is transforming the economic state of immigrant households, helping them earn more, work less, sign me up for that one, and lead more quality and fulfilling lives. And the impact of that, when we make more money, we are able to give our children, our family, a good life here in the US, as well as support our families back home and our friends and across the globe. And for us in Kenya, you know, that's a big thing when we have to send money to our loved ones back home. I am sure in all the other 50 countries in the continent, it is no different. So without further ado, how do you land that better job, make up to 30,000 more in 2021? And what will you do with that over 30,000 or more money that you make in 2021? We're going to talk about generational wealth. So I hope you will stay tuned till the very end of this conversation. So welcome to my show, Miss Gina. I am so proud to have you here. So tell us, what made you found AfriMentor Consulting Group? What was going on?
Yes, Dr. Lucy, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and chat with you. Definitely, you inspire me a lot. Yeah, so to say the reason I started AfriMentor, it is because of what I experienced myself. You see, so when I came to the US, that was like shortly after. Well, let me just give it as a little story about myself.
Yes.
Maybe that will make a lot of sense. Yeah, so I completed high school in Kenya. I went to Asia for my college. I got admitted for like a law school in India. I got admitted to a nursing school in the US and a business school in India. And I was like, I think I'm a business person. I love business. So I went to business school and I did very well. By the time I completed my bachelor's degree, not only did I complete like a double major in finance and accounting,
yes.
I had also like over 24 extra credits by the time I finished. And so it's more like I had a degree and a half. And I was an A student. Actually, when I went back to Kenya, they called me like 2 days after landing and they're like, oh, you are a top performer. You need to come back because we have a ceremony and you're a recipient of all of this. And I was like, I cannot go back. But, you know, that to show like I was doing pretty well. And then a few months down the road, I could not get a job that was really good in Kenya. And that's when I decided, you know what, let me go to the land of milk and honey, right? Let me find this milk. I want to drink this honey and milk and see how it goes. So that is how I ended up in America with a lot of hope, with a lot of dreams, with a lot of expectations. As you might know, it did not take long before the reality came hitting me.
And there was no milk, and you had to work for it.
Right, like the milk is not just what we think about. It's more like, listen, girl. First of all, you are way too young. You're a millennial. You know, I am way too young. And number two, I am a female. Number three, I am Black. And number four, an immigrant from Africa. That does not describe somebody who is coming to lead in corporate, because my dream was to get a corporate position that is going to be like leadership, management. I knew that I was smart, you know? But then when I look into that, it was like, you know what you do you take CNA certification, and then you go and get yourself a little tiny job down there, work double shift because you cannot get into finance, you cannot get into corporate.
Wow.
And that's what I did, really, that's what I did because I did not know who to go to that could help me transition. And then
Yes.
in the process, that is when I felt like this cannot be it. I was so unfulfilled. I never loved it. I never loved my job. And so while I was clocked in a group home, I did not even take the CNA. I was like, I'm not going to take this certification. I will just take a CNA position, a group home position as a care provider. And I
Okay.
took it. At that point, I had also started a master's degree, you know.
Okay.
So it's like I'm coming from a master's degree and then clocking in as a care provider, like in a group home with no one. Like I'm the only one who is educated, highly intellectual, everything, no one to challenge me, no mentors, no nothing. And I was
Yes.
like, I cannot do this because I really even don't like, changing and doing all of that. That
Mm-hmm.
is when I spent my time, because the good thing working in group homes, you have a lot of downtime.
Time.
Literally, it's like in your house. So I
Yes.
started spending like 5 hours of my work hour when I'm getting paid, which is not ethical. But then I was like, I cannot just sit here. And I started researching how can I, as a millennial, as a Black woman, as an immigrant, get into corporate position. Okay. And then
Yes.
I figured the way. And then before I knew it, I had my job, a corporate position where I was the only Black person, the only African, the only person of color, which was
Mm-hmm.
very fulfilling. The job was good. I loved it. I felt like I'm winning. Like, this is it.
Yes.
Finally, I found the dream, But then it did not take me long before I realized I love this, but I need a person I can talk to about Africa, that we can discuss about hair. Where do you make your hair, get your hair done? I want to
Yes.
discuss about where we come from, about our skin. I don't want to feel like I have to adjust who I am to fit into the culture where we can talk about dogs. First of all, we didn't have a dog because in Africa that is not a priority,
Yes.
And I was also the youngest in my department. And so what I ended up doing, I started now to figure out how I can bring somebody that looks like me into the organization, right?
Yes.
And in that process, I had also like started my PhD. So I am in the class. My PhD class was like about 18 people, and I'm studying with like great leaders with the Cargill, that was in Minnesota, that's in Minnesota. So in
Yes.
Minnesota, I have leaders from these big corporations as my classmates, the CEOs and CFOs. But then we had 4 African guys. We were 4 Africans.
Wow.
All right. So we had other 3 Africans, one from Morocco, Nigeria, and Liberia, and me, Kenyan. And so I was going around trying to figure out, like, hey, what do you do? And all of that. And then I realized my 4 African brothers who are not Kenyan like me are actually stuck in the same position that I was, that I have been for a moment. One
Okay.
of them, my friend from Nigeria, was like working in group homes setting, and he is volunteering hours for free, not even like getting paid. He's volunteering like a lot of hours for free because it's a federal organization and hopes to get a job later. My
Yes.
other friend from Liberia, he was working in a small trucking organization. And so while he was there, what he was doing is that he was just assisting in bookkeeping, making less than $25 an hour at PhD level. And the other guy, he had just relocated. He was working for World Bank. And so he's trying to figure his way out. And so that's when I felt like this ain't right. And I'm not the only one who has experienced this. And so I asked one of them to apply to the position in my company, because I'm going to be there to tell my HR, hey, hire this one,
Yes.
right? So he made his application, submitted everything. He did not get called. We really needed somebody, like, even if I referred you, I would get paid. Like, it was that bad. We were getting huge bonus to just get somebody hired in my company. But
Yes.
then he applied, he did not hear anything. A couple of days later, I walk into the HR and I'm like, Mr. So-and-so is going to be submitting a resume. Have you not received it? And the HR was like, I actually kind of got it, but we're gonna look into that. So then I figured like, something maybe not right. So I went to the guy and I asked him, give me your resume. I'm gonna go with it to work tomorrow, and I'm gonna deliver it to all of the 3 HR leaders. So instead of just giving one. And when he gave me his resume, I was like, oh Jesus Christ, this is really bad.
Oh wow.
Like, you're my brother, we are from Africa, but even if I was hiring, there is no way I'm gonna hire you if this is how you're presenting yourself. And so out of that, I told him, guess, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do for you. I will prepare you. I will prepare for you a resume. I'll prepare for you a cover letter. He didn't even have a professional cover letter. I'll prepare you a cover letter. I'm gonna train you. I'm gonna coach you. I'm gonna guide you on how you can prepare and present yourself to get a corporate position. Because at PhD level, right now you're supposed to be making 6-figure income with a lot of like benefits, flying left and right on companies' expands, as a leader, as a manager. So I assisted him, and then I realized the problem that I experienced is replicating itself a lot to every immigrant.
Yes.
People in group homes, they have bachelor's degrees from Africa. People who are driving taxis, they have education background, they have skill sets that can bring them a lot of benefits. And that's why I started like helping more than just him. It worked. I worked for myself. I did it for myself. I've done it for my classmates. It's working. You know what? Let me try help many more Africans so that we can make it, instead of people working madabo, which I really hated. And so that is how I ended up founding a free mentor so that I could help many more people. And at the end of the day, I actually ended up like leaving the corporate position and dedicating full time into helping African immigrants actually get ahead.
Oh, sweet. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us in, we are talking about securing that lucrative job in 2021, what it will take. And sometimes it's just a tweak in your resume or somebody else looking at it and just giving you ideas on how to present yourself. That is incredible. You do know that that is a typical story for a lot of immigrants. They come from outside, many of them have already gotten their degrees and they can't seem to get ahead in terms of their jobs. And we are not here to bash anybody's job, whichever place you're at now. We want you to be at a different place by the end of this year. So tell us about your typical client. Who is your typical client? Is it really Kenyans, or is it just anybody from word of mouth, or how do you get referred?
Right. So my typical client, technically, okay, even before I answer that, allow me to back it up a little bit and say something.
Yes.
So first of all, a lot of people ask me, Gina, you're getting your PhD. You can get any job that you want. Why do you have to be writing resumes for people? Why do you want to use that after all of this, learning process? So before we even move there, I want to clarify that I am not in the business of like writing resumes. I'm not here to write a CV. What I am doing, I am in the process of equipping immigrants. I am trying to help people so that they can get equipped in a way that they can be able to make more, to get fulfilling opportunities. And by them making more, if I help you, Dr. Lucy, for you to make like $30,000 more, $15,000 more, how I look at it as an African immigrant who, we are community oriented. Yes. I look at it like I'm not just helping you live a comfortable life, be able to afford better school for your kids, but then I look at it as Lucy is going to be sponsoring 2 kids of her grandchildren's, or her, you are able to buy your older parents medication in Africa. You are able to send your cousin who did not have tuition to go back to school. So it goes way deeper than just getting a good job. It's more like empowering our communities so that we can make more money, so that we can have leverage to have economic power. Because without economic power, we are still going to be depending on Americans or Europeans to go to Africa just to give us access to clean water that is sitting under our houses, Correct. So it's more like beyond just writing resumes. And so when I do this, I help a whole wide of demographic of people. Like I said, I've been doing this full time since 2017. That's the last time I went to corporate. So I've been doing it, like I dedicate a lot of time, a lot of thought process, a lot of reasoning and everything. And I have helped people from all ranges. And by all ranges, I mean somebody who will come to me and they don't even have any education background, like college education, to somebody who is a fresh immigrant, they just landed. I actually have a few of my clients who will call me. They follow me on my show.
Okay.
So they're going to be reaching out to me before they even leave Kenya, before they leave Nigeria, before they leave their home countries. Yes. So when they get here in 4 weeks, I'm able to assist them translate the knowledge, the skills, the degree, everything that they have had in corporate Kigali, in corporate Rwanda. So that is going to be assisting them get a good job in corporate America. You know, I have helped people who are like over 50 years old. Wow. The senior citizens who are not easy like to transition in their career, but then you find that these senior citizens are actually, senior employees are actually a valuable asset to federal positions, to different type of jobs. So I assist all of them. In other words, I help anybody who is seeking to move up in their career, because what we do, and this is why it takes a whole process. It is because we don't offer like a one size fits all type of solution. You see, a lot of career coaches out there will tell you, oh, do this to get your resume. You just need to tweak here and there. But the truth is that person does not understand your experience from Nakuru and how that can translate to mean something valuable to a recruiter who is hiring you in California. You see? And so this one size fit all information does not work. And that's why you find a lot of immigrants who have been here even for over 20 years, they are still stuck. A lot of people who even have 2 degrees, they are still making like 40K less than their classmates who are not African immigrants, right? And so it's more like we give it an approach of, Lucy, what do you want? Where do you need to be? And then we craft a path for you. So we provide you with a roadmap from where you are to where you need to be, and we connect everything that you need. Sometimes I can even tell somebody, you know what, you need to go and get a certification, or you need to go and you can choose to go get a degree. Otherwise, we can also choose, if you don't want to go back for a degree, we can use this path, and this is the type of career you can establish versus what you're thinking. So most of the time, actually, my client come to me thinking, all I need is a resume and a cover letter maybe. And after we talk 30 minutes, because I consult with everybody for free. I don't charge anyone consultation fee. I give that time free to help educate you what you can do and where you can get. So by the time we finish our conversation, they are like, actually, I did not even know that existed. I did not even know there were opportunities like that. I did not even know I can be able to achieve that, because all I thought, I have to stay within this space because I have no experience. I don't have degrees. I don't have all these accolades, but then there's always a way to achieve higher with the right mentor.
Wow. That is awesome. So if you're looking to get a consultation with Gina, just follow her on her page, which is the Gina Muigai Show, and she'll get back in touch with you and let you know where to move forward from there. So would you say that, all right, so somebody's coming from Africa, coming from Kenya or from wherever, would you be able to translate the same help to somebody who's relocating back to Kenya to be able to do similar jobs? Maybe they're remote, or maybe it's a job that is moving, their company is moving, or have you had that situation in the past?
Right. Yeah. So I've worked with a lot of people who are now leaving the US or Canada, wherever they are moving back to Kenya. I have assisted them, and what we do, this is one thing. One, I will use Kenya because you mentioned Kenya. So one thing in Kenya, we use a CV, a curriculum vitae, right? In America, we use a resume. Those are 2 different things, totally different. And so when you are packaging yourself for a specific market, like corporate Kenya and corporate America are totally different. You cannot approach them the same. Otherwise, one of them will have to undermine the value you bring to the table. And the value you bring to the table determines how much you get compensated, the opportunities that you get, even getting hired in the first place or not, yes or not. And so when you are moving from one country to the other, we package you based on the requirement of that market. Okay. And another misconception that a lot of people have is that, oh, because it's a remote job and it's posted in California, I can take it even if I am in wherever I am, even if I am in Kenya. Mm-hmm. But the truth is that every country has like employment and labor laws, right?
Yes.
And so based on the position that is posted, you have got to abide by the law. And if the law of that position or that organization does not cover offshore work like Kenyan law, if it's posted in America, then you could be really good, but then you need a W-2, right? It needs to provide you with a W-2, but how do you access that in Nairobi? It can only be accessed in the US. So it's not just about because the job is virtual, then anyone can take it. There are laws that bind that you have to go by based on the jurisdiction. But at the same time, there are very many virtual positions that can be applied by anybody from all over. And number two, there are many virtual positions that available from all over. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I did a live video at the Gina Muigai show, and I actually shared my screen. I shared my screen with people, showing them where to find remote positions from any part of the world, including the UN, because I help people even get jobs at the UN federal positions. So I would suggest that if you are outside of the US and you want a remote position, just go to that specific place or different places where they can post those positions and apply based on the country that you are in. Otherwise, you might end up like applying to so many jobs that are in the US and only to get disappointed because it's not everybody who has that capacity to want to hire you offshore.
Yes. Okay, great. That is great information. So for those who had already pre-sent me your questions with regard to getting remote positions outside of the US, Gina has explained what that entails, but there are still positions that you could apply for. So, Madam Gina, would you, there are people probably sitting there and wondering, are there any fees associated with the services that you provide?
Good question. So this is what I think. You might agree with me, you might not. Africa does not need one more charitable work, okay?
I agree with you 100%.
Right? I love that. I love that. Africa has been positioned as this weak guy who needs help and a lot of prayers. Not to say prayers are not good, but we've been put in a place where we actually think we are not good enough. We cannot make it on our own unless somebody comes and helps us for free, unless somebody hands out something that will save us, that will come through for us. And that is why you find even right now as we speak, Africa has like the lowest COVID-19 cases, but if it was going to be flipped into a developed nation, the whole world would be asking you, how are you guys managing to not have these serious COVID cases? It would be like the referral for everybody in the globe because Africa is rampant. Everyone is dying there. But in America, there's no COVID. Like, why won't Africa learn from us, the Americans? But when you flip the coin, because it's Africa that is not dying, no one really even cares to go and do research. So what I am saying is that what we need to start standing up for ourselves. Free stuff are not going to help us get there. It's the time that we understand the power of getting up and going to look after the fish or looking for the fish for our own self, figure out how to do the fishing and how to actually own the ponds. My answer to, are there fees associated? Oh yes, there is fees. The same way you will take Dr. Lucy $60,000 for you to get your master's degree and then take $120 to get that doctor title. How can you not be able to get couple $100 to get a career coach assist you, even if they don't have to be Gina? So that mindset will make us feeling like, I don't want to invest. And then you end up making 40K less than your colleagues and your everybody who you started with. And a couple years later, they're going to be your boss. And when you start resenting it, bam, you're about to retire. And then you think life is unfair because you're an immigrant, because you have an accent, because you're a female. But the truth is that it's because you did not go for it. It's because you are waiting for a handout for somebody to come through for you. And that is not the spirit or the attitude of somebody who is going somewhere.
I love that. And you know, I think some of the things that hold us back is even when an opportunity presents itself, we hold back and from paying what in the big scheme of things is minimal to what the job we're looking for. If I'm going for a six-figure income and I'm paying fees, even say 300, 500, and I choose not to pay that minimal fee, yet I'm going for a six-figure salary, our mindset needs to change. So tell us, I'm all for people getting paid. I don't believe in all this free stuff. It doesn't give you skin in the game. So let's talk about a job that one would could potentially make more than 30,000 in 2021. Talk about a scenario or a job that could elevate someone to that level.
All right, I'll actually
choose one.
I'll just give an example using people that I am actually working with, people who are in that position. So for instance, just to emphasize on your point about investing for you to get high returns, I have worked this year, amid COVID, 2 months ago, I worked with one graduate who was a fresh graduate, and she was actually completing her degree in August, and then she reached out to me a month before graduation because we had here and I'm here, and I told her, if you want to be ahead of the game, you have to start it ahead of time. You don't start until you graduate, because what that does is,
Lady Gina, you're having a little bit of an echo.
Oh,
okay, better.
How about now?
Much better.
All right. Yeah, so as I was saying that I was working with this lady, and when we started working together, that was a month before she graduated, because I tell everybody, if you go to the Gina Muigai show, I encourage people to start preparing, because preparation beats talent. If you're graduating in November, start preparing like in October, ahead of time, or even way more. So when we started working together, she was going to graduate. And when you graduate, the typical salary range was going to be about between 55 to 60. If you get 68, that would be really good, Okay. And when we work together, because like I said, it's more like packaging you and then presenting you in a manner that the recruiters are going to see a lot of value. Because first of all, a disclaimer, organizations don't hire degree. Organizations don't hire experience. They don't hire none of that. What they do, they hire value. They hire solutions. So if you present yourself as somebody who is bringing in value, who is bringing in solutions, somebody who is going to help them move from point A, that is where they are, to point B, that is where they want to be, you might end up getting a whole lot of money, more than you actually would bargain for. Okay. Yes. So when I worked with her as a fresh graduate, she got a job offer less than a month that they were willing to wait for her to graduate. Wow. A couple of weeks to graduation, and she got a job offer. The job offer came like they said, oh, we're going to be paying $67,000 to $105,000, $101,000. And she's like, 67 sounds good. And I'm like, no. We are going for six figure. We're going to for $100,000. And she's like, but I'm just a graduate and I don't want to lose this opportunity or look greedy or anything. I'm like, I know what you have to offer. I know what they will be expecting of you. We are going for $100,000. And then I told her what to respond and what to tell them. And then the next thing, she's calling me in the midnight, like screaming. It's like she received the email and they agreed to give her 95. It did not hit the $100,000, but then that was like instantaneously, she just received like a 35,000 pay bump on the spot with zero experience, zero exposure. Another person I was working with, a lady who is tuned in here,
Okay.
she came to me, and before her, she finished her, completed her graduation this December. Remember, 2 months ago, I posted when I was helping 20 people get into Amazon, when
Yes.
Amazon was hiring 30 positions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
So
Kenya, that was the problem.
right. I see. So I did, I helped a few people, and this specific lady, we went for a position that is going to be like an area regional manager. And we are talking about Amazon, which is one of the greatest organizations to work for in the world, you know. And she went for, we were like, we are going for this is what we're going to be targeting. And even before, without any experience or anything. And just like that, she got a job offer, and she's going to be starting this year, because she got it a few weeks ago. She's going to be starting this year and got a job offer, and just the sign-on bonus is $34,000. And the salary is way higher than what she'd been making. So you realize that actually making $30,000, it's not about like, do you have an extra degree? Because a lot of people with 2 degrees are making less than some bachelor degree holder.
Yes.
Right? So you realize actually what I need to do is not to go back to school and get 2 more degrees, get a PhD like Dr. Lucy or like Gina. You don't need none of that. You need to understand what are the solutions that I can provide this organization that are highly valuable. Sometimes it could just be a certification away. Sometimes it's just you repackaging yourself, like you put yourself together, like you get yourself camped and present yourself to the right place, and you'll be getting these opportunities. And following that, there's a program that I just launched. We just launched, it's called the BCB program. It's like Black Career Blueprint, where I'm providing everybody with like a blueprint on how to actually move up your career ladder to go and get that 30,000 pay increase without necessarily having to alter everything. Because right now, Dr. Lucy, I know that you understand, if you want to change a person, if you want to change a community, you don't take somebody who is making $16 an hour, working doubles and has a family, and ask them to go back and become a full-time student. Yes. That is going to be too much. What you want to do is to take that person and then teach them how they can make just $5 more, so that they can cut their work time by a quarter. Yes. And by making $5 more an hour, that person is making $10,000 extra in a year. Correct. So if you help that person make $10 extra an hour, that alone, you're giving that person a leverage of $20,000 a year. Correct. So bringing this change, I don't bring it in a manner that is going to disrupt your life or make it feel so complicated, but it's little steps where you have, it's like you have a water bucket, but then it has some leakages. You are leaking some skills here, you are leaking some presentation, you are leaking because of lack of resume. And when we seal it without you altering your life, you realize, whoa, wait a minute, suddenly I'm worth 30,000 more. And so in the program, what we do, we are starting like from the beginning, where you are. What do you have to offer? What are your career goals? Where do you want to end up? We even set goals for you. Like, we need to set a goal, because we don't want to be shooting up in the air hoping that we catch something, because we might end up catching a raven that we don't want. Correct. And then after we establish that, we get into the step of me helping people understand what the job market is, what it looks for, what sets you apart, what makes you what gives you a chance to like be ahead of everybody else. And then we prepare everything that you need, the resume, the CV, the cover letter, coaching, training you, mentoring you, because I realize some people don't even have as simple skills, Lucy, as like being able to type an email in less than 5 minutes. Like, if you spend 10 minutes typing a less than 100-word email, then it means in a day, if you get a job in corporate, you're going to be spending like 2 hours just writing emails. Just writing emails. Yeah, or others don't even know how to strike a conversation with your boss, how to ask for a pay raise, how to ask for an increase, how to even let them know you're feeling like you are being mistreated, undervalued, and all of that. So in the program, I am teaching all of this information, and a lot of people are actually realizing, oh my God, I've been underselling myself, and just like that, they're getting better jobs. That's a good leading to my next question. Do you
find that immigrants, we are very timid when it comes to A, our starting salaries, B, asking for a pay raise, that we, even though sometimes we know that we bring value to the organization, we still feel timid to ask for what we know that we should be getting. Do you find that to be common practice?
Yes, very, very. It's not just in Kenyan immigrants. I want to say the entire African, because I am privileged to have worked with people from almost every country in Africa. I've
Awesome.
worked with people, including white people here in America, in Asia. Like I stayed in Asia for a couple of years. So I've worked with people from all over, but my focus is mainly the African immigrant, because I feel like we African immigrants are always in the receiving end. And now talking about timidity, that's a big one. That's a big one, and it's part of what I am teaching in the program. Because first of all, I think it goes back to our roots and how we grew up. Because when we were little, we used to be told, like, when grown-ups are speaking, when the elders are around, you don't speak over them, you don't speak your mind, you kind of are a child, you actually should excuse yourself and stuff like that. And another problem is that when you follow the culture, you are not able to amplify your own skills, because that comes out like you're full of yourself, versus, oh, you have the capacity or the capability to actually articulate what you can do. So that affects us from childhood all the way up to where we are and in our careers every day. So you will find, first of all, African immigrants do not even negotiate for salary. And we have a mindset that I am here in America, I'm actually here to make money. And therefore, what we do, Dr. Lucy, which is the wrong move. We just jump into taking whatever offer comes, because I am here to make money. But we forget that preparation beats everything else. So instead of you jumping in to take that job, and when you take it, you ain't gonna have time to upskill yourself, to look for another different job. You will not even have enough time. So you will end up spending so many years in the same position. All you needed is to take 4 weeks and assess the best opportunity that is gonna be available for you. All you needed is to invest in a career coach, in a career advisor, to help position you, so that instead of taking that job that is paying you $50,000 a year, if you got to pay somebody, a career coach, to prepare you, pay them $800, $1,000, $200, $2,000. If you pay them $2,000, what would have happened is that instead of you getting the same job at $50,000, you're gonna get the same job, but they're gonna start you at $80,000.
Yes.
Okay. There's a reason when you see job postings indicating that our salary or the compensation is going to be between $67,000 and $110,000. What that means, and it's asking for the same qualifications. What that means is that you can come, get the job, get the offer and everything, and you're going to go home feeling like a pro, like a superstar, like you conquered the world because you got your job offer at $70,000. What you do not know is that your colleague who you clock in with every day doing the same thing, same job description, they are actually at 110, because they were able to present themselves, to package themselves, and to go through the process with some thought process. But you jump right in and you think you are winning while you are losing a lot of money. And so it's very, very important to put a pause and assess everything that you're doing. And if you feel like, actually, I could do better, the fact that you can have that thought, maybe I could do better, maybe I could earn more money. The truth is that your gut feeling is always right. And because you cannot see what you might need to improve, maybe you're not even talented to get that resume done, and all of that, just find somebody who will save you time, who is going to save you many, many years of trying to figure it out. And they will assist you and direct you to the right place at the right time without you having to wait.
Yes, I really like that. And I think also a key point that you mentioned is the preparation. Having been in the corporate world for a while, and I did a lot of hiring people, I found that, many times that, many immigrants will come and interview for a position they've not even prepared for. They don't even know what, they kind of have an idea what job they want, but they don't even know what the company really does. And so I think it's important to prepare. And there was one I remember when I interviewed her, and she said, so I asked her, what salary are you looking for? And her response actually threw me back, and she said, whatever you guys give me will be fine. I'm like, what? What if we give you $1? Will that be fine?
Right.
So I really think, preparing and knowing for the position and the company that you're going to work, looking for that job, it is imperative that you know what they do, at the bare minimum. Yeah, so that if somebody asks you, so what made you choose to come and interview for this position? It's not going to be like you're just guessing what that could be. So Miss Gina, what else do you want to tell us about how one can elevate themselves in 2021 and to be able to make more in their earnings, and that will translate to salary, being able to invest, because many of us hardly pay ourselves. We work hard and forget that we need to pay ourselves. So this year I think we need people paying themselves. Is there anything else you want to share with our viewers so that they can be prepared in this 2021?
Right. So first of all, with COVID-19, everything changed, and the truth is that things will not even ever go back to normal as we know it. And therefore, it's very, very important for you to adjust your sales. We all have to adjust ourselves, and in the sense that when you are looking at what you can do in 2021, be open-minded. Be open-minded, because what if by April we realize actually the world is going to another lockdown and you have to work from home, God forbid, or you realize what you've been doing is actually not working. I want us to start thinking outside the box. And that is why I say, Dr. Lucy, like, I'm not here to write you a resume. Because if I prepare you a resume and a cover letter, I'm giving you a baked fish that you're gonna eat, feel very good, but then in 6 hours, you're gonna be hungry and you will need Gina again. What I'm trying to do is to equip you. Because when you look at, let me give a little example. So for me personally, I was born in Eldoret. Okay, I was born in Eldoret, and then there was tribal war in 1992, 93-ish. We were very tiny. We could not even remember what was going on. But then I remember our parents putting us in a big truck and everything, and we had to leave because we are a different tribe from the tribe that is supposed to be living in that area. Okay. And when we moved into the central parts of Kenya. We didn't even like have a place. My dad had already like bought a big farm from a white guy in Eldoret. He was like, I'm here until death do us part or whatever. We are here to stay. My family is all set. Suddenly we have to move and everything. Our parents could not afford figuring out how we live and our tuition and everything. But then you realize that our brothers who are older, my older brother had already completed like his medical training. He was already working in Mombasa General Hospital. My other brother was in a teacher, and another one was in the university. Like we were all like, once you hit 21, you should be in college or completed training, some sort of. Our parents were pushing it, but then they could not afford it. And so what happened is that our older brother who had these jobs, who were already working, they came through for us and they paid our tuition, because our parents had to focus on where do we find food. Now we are like IDP. We are displaced in our own country. We don't have a place. We don't have place to a land, because they were not like college educated. We just have to figure, where do kids sleep? What do they eat? We cannot figure out tuition. And so our older brothers who are already working, they came and paid our tuition, provided for us. One of my brother was already in the US, I think. He was already Will was in the US. So our brothers came through for us, but that is because, Dr. Lucy, they had jobs that could allow them to pay tuition for us. right?
Yes.
If we did not have those brothers, I really don't think my uncles would be in a position to help us. I don't know where the fate would have taken us. And here we are. I am going to be Dr. Gina because my older brother had a good job that helped pay for my high school tuition.
Yes.
And so that is the importance of having a good job. It's not just about you living comfortable or having to pay your rent on time. It actually goes way deeper than that. It's changing communities, it's equipping people by giving them chances that they would necessarily not have just because you got a good job. If somebody, whoever is listening right now, if right now you had a chance to find like one of your two very smart nieces and nephews in Africa, they cannot go to college, and suddenly you get a job that is going to pay you 30K more, what you're going to do, you're going to be comfortable in giving that extra just 1,000 to put them through college. And in 10 years from now, those two kids are going to be the leaders in your village, in your community, and we're going to be building a generation. That is why I say I help people to establish generational success. And out of generational success, you find that generational wealth is like inevitable.
That is correct.
When you get this job, you don't squander all the extra 30K. You're going to build a house in Africa. You're going to invest with Kaynard. You're going to invest in your future in one way or another. And when you have this good job, the next thing that will happen is that you are going to automatically mentor your own children, mentor your nephews and nieces, mentor people around you to go for better opportunities. And just like that, we're going to start raising the consciousness of Black immigrants and the Black race at large. When you find that every Black household is actually making six-figure salary, versus now, if you go to every Black household, somebody is leaving about at least $20,000 on the table by just not packaging themselves. Not that they are not qualified, not that they cannot actually do it, but just because they are not aggressively going to ask for that high pay. They are not going for those positions. We want to save $200, $500 from not paying a career coach only to make $30,000 less. You see?
Yes.
So we have to change this consciousness and understand that your job actually affects more than just you. It affects the quality of life for your wife, for your husband, for your children. If you don't have a good job, your child cannot go to a private school. That means that they were going to go through the government system with the lower chances of getting these elite opportunities. It's going to be difficult for you to invest, and therefore you might end up like leaving America even without a land in Kenya, or you have to work so hard for it and end up being someone else's burden in the future. And so when we understand the importance of having a good job, I feel that because I know my parents didn't have a job and my brothers really came through. So when you understand the importance of having a good job and what it can do to you and your community and at large representing the Black race, we cannot remain on the receiving end, Dr. Lucy. No. All the time we're the ones in the receiving end. We have to change this. And guess what? It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault and it's nobody's job but our own fault, and it's our job to change this history, to change this fate. And if we rise up one person at a time, when I do my job, I feel like there's thousands, there's like billions of people right here. Like, how do I help everybody? And then I remind myself, listen, Gina, you're not here to change everybody. You're here to help one person at a time, one person at a time, one person at a time. And the next thing that you see, I helped somebody yesterday, somebody texted me, oh, you have now finished helping my nieces and they are all going for six-figure salary. Now this year, 2021 is for me, Gina. I am coming right in. You know what you have done. And I'm like, yes. Now that's a family of 3 people who are making 50K and now they're going to be all making 6 figures, Dr. Lucy. Ooh. 3 people making 6 figures in one household income. Tell me, that household will never have debt. That household will always have financial leverage. They will be even happier because they can afford vacations to Kenya every year if they want. And number 3, they will be calling you because they want to invest the extra money instead of getting it to sit in the bank. They're going to be like, you know what? Let me call Dr. Lucy. Let me get to Kaynard. Let me figure out how I can use this money to leverage my own life. So this is more a calling to everybody that is watching. Whether you want to work with Gina, whether it's a free mentor, whether whatever it is, I want to urge you, this is 2021. Like we used to feel like 2020, that is so far away. I'll be so well in 2020. Bro, it's already 2021. What you want to do, you cannot keep doing the same thing and hoping for different results.
Correct.
If you do have a lousy resume, you get a lousy job. You have lousy interviewing skills, you get a lousy result. So if you want to get to the next level, you cannot do things the same anymore. What you want to do, if you've been doing it on your own, try using somebody who is an expert. This year, go by expert all the way. If I want to invest, I'm not going to go investing on my own when you're here, Dr. Lucy. I will pay you to help me figure out how to invest, because that not only saves me a lot of time,
yes,
it's a lot of headache, a lot of resources trying to figure it out, and the stress of actually trying to figure out how do I even buy a land in Kenya, or how do I invest this extra money? You
yes.
see? So let us make 2021 first is the year of going professional. Look for experts in everything that you do. If you have a case you want to do, you have something coming up with the legal department, look for a lawyer. The lawyer will charge you $2,000, $3,000, but it will save you a whole lot of pressure and pain. If you're looking to invest, look for professional investor. If you're looking for a job, look for a professional career advisor. Then prepare, just level up. You cannot do the same thing the same way you did it and expect different results. People call that insanity. It is actually some sort of insanity. Yes. And so anyone here feels like, I want to move my career to the next level. Even if we worked with you before, if we worked together before, reach out to me. And I will be glad to even give you access to the program. Anyone who want to get in the program, it's open. Right now, the doors are open. We'll be closing by the weekend. We will get you in and we will get you started. January and February are the best times to get hired. Yes. January, February are the best time to transition in your career, to get a new job, to ask for a pay raise, to ask for a pay bump. In the program, we even teach you how to ask for pay raise. We teach you how to network, which is another problem, Dr. Lucy, we could talk about, because African ones are not good in networking. Oh my God.
If building those relationships.
Right. We even go to a point where, oh, I'm a Kenyan and I am a Kikuyu and I'm from Nakuru. And so I surround myself with some Kikuyus from Nakuru, you know.
You limit your circle so much.
You limit yourself so much. A lot of opportunity are going to be flying off your head. And you're like here jumping. You see like those kids in the village, they are just jumping up and down, jumping the rope. Not knowing that there are opportunities flying off your head because you think, I need my tribe. We need to start networking. We need to go outside of the scope of what we are used to, because that is where opportunities lie. That is where we will find something that is different. And this is what I ask myself. If I am hanging out with you more than a day, more than 2 days in a week, if we are spending time together directly or virtually, you have got to be better than me, or at least we are pushing each other up. Because the network, the 5 people, closest people to you, they could be family, they could be your closest friend, it could be your colleagues, even at work. And that's why I don't even like taking jobs that are dead end, because if you surround yourself with people at work every day, 8 hours, Monday to Friday, and none of them actually looks like what you would want to be in the future, then you're doomed. You're going to be the 6th person like that. So let's start just being around the people that we are comfortable with, the people that we know, the people we can talk about all this African soil and everything. We have to branch out. We need to expose ourselves out there. There is something that I talk about in the program, in the BCB program. It's called the hidden job market. Okay. Now, what a lot of Africans do not know is that the hidden job market, it has actually about 80% of all job opportunities. So when you go on the internet and looking for jobs, what you see is just 20%. 20%. And so you could be applying for jobs and you never even get an opportunity. But the problem is not that there are now jobs, but you're looking in the wrong place. What is the hidden job market? The hidden job market are those jobs that are never ever publicized. I told you an example with the guy I was helping on my PhD class. We did not publish that job. And it was internal, like you bring somebody, you're getting $5,000.
Wow.
Right? So the hidden job market is clearly meant to attract people without necessarily going through the hassle of publishing it. I would want you, the viewers, to think of the hidden job market like a gated community. It's a gated community, and you cannot get inside the gated community unless you know somebody inside who will come and open the door for you, who has the key. They will let you in through the gate, okay? So the hidden job market is where companies do not post these jobs. Open opportunities are never posted on the internet. They are never posted anywhere. They just tell people in the company, hey, we are looking for this open opportunity. We are looking for an accountant. Please go and look within your network if you can bring an accountant. Because by the time I bring an accountant in my company, first of all, I cannot bring somebody that I know is going to be a botcher from get-go. And number two, I'm giving my company a lot of money from going and posting it out there and spending money on Indeed and the hassle. Every job opportunity in the US before COVID, every one job posting, usually we receive about 250 applications, right? Yes. And so if one posting is 250, after COVID is going to be about 1,000. Yeah, and so if I am spending that type of money, that means a lot of HRs are going to spend all day and getting to go through 250 resumes, which is a lot of work. And so you find that the hidden job market, they just go and tell people in the company, hey, we have this opportunity open. They're not going to publish it. But then you find that African immigrants are busy sitting on the computers looking for jobs. And they're like, Gina, I cannot find a job. I have my good resume and everything. Bro, it's because the jobs are not posted. They are not posted. You get access to those jobs through gated community person who has the key. What you want to do is to network with people. Know people, your neighbor next, the guy at the Walmart. You could be checking out and behind you is a guy because he don't look like you, he's not like what you are used to. That person could be one of the people that the company is begging to go and bring someone with your exact resume. And so what you want to do, start networking, start meeting people. Right now we have LinkedIn profiles where you can meet everybody, including a recruiter from your dream company. If you want to work for KNUT, I will just go on LinkedIn and look for KNUT, and then I will look talent acquisition at KNUT, and I will connect with you and I can shoot you my resume, right? But of course, you don't want to just go like, I tell people to think of job employment opportunities more like a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship.
Yes.
You know, it's like a love relationship. You don't want to get abused. You don't want to stay in your job when you're not fulfilled. You don't want to, just approach it in like, bam, I'm here, give me a job. You want to establish connections. HR's human resource hire connections more than just the resume. So you are able to establish those connections. You are able to know more people than you are used to. And by that, you're gaining social capital. Social capital is actually more valuable than money when it comes to looking for jobs. And guess what? You could just be one person away, one connection away to your greatest breakthrough in your job, which you might not have experienced if all you did is to apply for jobs on the internet.
That is so correct. And so our viewers, we thank you so much for tuning in. We know that you could have been doing something else. It's in the evening. You could have been spending the time elsewhere, but we appreciate that you took the time to listen in and share. And we continue to ask you to share this information with your friends and family, because we want everybody in 2021 to win. When you win, I win. We all win. So make 2021 a great year for you and your loved ones. So Gina, what would be your parting words to our viewers?
Yes, I can tell them how to find me if they want to.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you need my help, like I said, we have the doors open already right now. Oh, and I almost forgot, Dr. Lucy.
Don't forget.
Right. We are launching the same program that is going to be applicable in Kenya, in corporate Africa, in the entire Africa. But we are starting with Kenya. Well, charity begins at home.
At home.
Yeah, so we're going to be launching that by March, where we will be helping people who are already in Kenya, like figure their career and move to the next level. Like I said, it's about raising the Black humans, like in their economic power and ability to invest. Like we are trying to establish generational success and generational wealth. So Kenyan chapter is coming up soon. If you are interested, please go ahead and write to me and or say I'm interested in the Kenyan chapter. We'll get your email, we'll send you the information. And those who are in the US and Canada right now, if you would want to get into the program, we have the doors open until Friday for sure. And when you come, we will guide you, we will hold your hands. Like I said, I spent a lot of time doing this. Like for 3 years, I have talked to each and every human being that we ever helped personally on phone for over 30 minutes. Okay. Oh. So this is not like, I know it feels like you put a lot of thought process and a lot of investment into this, because I can see where just changing our story can take us. In 10 years, Dr. Lucy, I really hope and pray that any immigrants who will be coming from Africa, they are not going to be in CNAs, because when you go to CNA nursing homes, Black immigrants are like 98%. Mm-hmm. We want to change that story. And these are people who had careers in Africa. So we have to change that, and we are doing it starting from now. And so if you want to reach out to me, go ahead and DM me, Gina Muigai. I'm Gina Muigai everywhere, on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere.
Like you should be.
Right? Like I should be. Yeah, you go ahead and write me a DM, or you can email us info@africg.com. That is AFRICG. And our website is www.africg.com. I will actually type it in here on the comment. Yes. And then you can reach out to us, and I will be more than glad to assist you. I will walk you through, and if I cannot help you, I'll be generous enough to let you know, you know what? Your problem is beyond my scope. I've never had to do that, but then I will be open and I would guide you to the right people who can assist you.
Okay. And you already have customer number one. I've already gotten a text that there's customer number one for the Kenyan chapter. So,
oh, nice.
So she will be sending you her information as well. Awesome. It has been a pleasure, Gina, hosting you. And I hope our viewers have received the information they were looking for. And they know how to get a hold of you. I am honored to host you, and I can't wait to celebrate your doctorate. I know it's happening soon, so congratulations. And you know I value you.
Thank you so much.
To our viewers, enjoy 2021. Make it a successful year for yourself and your families. And look out for the next show that will be in about 2 weeks, but I will post that in the next couple of days. Thank you so much, Gina. Have a wonderful night. Stay blessed. COVID is real. Let us wear our masks, sanitize, and social distance when we can. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you, Dr. Lucy. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.